Well, welcome back, everybody. You know, you hear it said a lot that, this community is like an extended family. And you see it a lot upstate here. Small towns, small cities, everybody knows everybody, and they join together. And before you know it, the community is like an extended family. Well, boy, do I have an example of it today. My two guests, Bob Murray and Missy Root. Missy is the president of the Booster Club of Bob Murray, who is the owner and the chief instructor for Murray's, I'm going to get this, Bob, Murray's Family Martial Arts Center, and they're located in Hudson Falls. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here. We had a wonderful conversation before we went on air, and I've got a bunch of things I want to try to cover. But let's let the viewers know a little bit about you first, and then what you're doing in Hudson Falls. Bob, I'm going to start with you. You started this school, martial arts school, in Hudson Falls in 2008, right?
Yes, sir.
And over the time, and the number of students you've seen, and the number of families you've got to know, the number of people in the community, you really do have students, let's say they've got special needs, they have certain developmental issues that they're looking for, and you've been really very successful at tapping into their personalities and their strengths. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yes, sir. We at Murray's, we pride ourselves in the fact that we take in a lot of the students that just don't seem to fit in other places in our community. And one of the things is we have children of all walks of life. We have young, we have old. We start them at 5 years old. They come to us at different ages. We presently have a black belt who is the only hearing and speech impaired black belt in New York State.
Wow.
We have children with Asperger's. We have children who have autism. We have children with ADHD. A lot of focus problems, a lot of concentration problems. And we pride ourselves in the fact of taking these children in and giving them a focus and a direction in which to head. We try to express the tenets of Taekwondo, which are courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. And we use these in our daily teaching of these students to help them focus better in school so they get better grades, to help them become a little more productive in the community. Mm-hmm. And that's the ultimate goal of any kind of educational thing, is to make somebody more productive in the community, make them a better citizen and help them out.
Well, you know what, Bob, and I know so many of us can relate to this, and some of this is generational, by the way. We grew up in an era back in the 60s when, some of these things that you're mentioning, like, courtesy, integrity, perseverance, spirit, respect, were things that were just sort of instilled in the family unit more than you see now. So you have that level. And then you've got the other level, and we've talked with other people about this, that if a child is suffering from some disability or a developmental challenge, that the idea that you give them the opportunity to focus and be rewarded in something that they can accomplish, what that does for their self-esteem and their confidence.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
I think that's so. Go.
We at one point we had a student who came to me at 26 years old and had never been out of his wheelchair since he was 19, hit by a drunken driver. And we took him in and we taught him Taekwondo. We taught him the moves. There were some moves he couldn't do, but most of the moves he did quite well. Took him off to a tournament, and when he got ready to receive his award, his medal for doing his form, he stepped off of the wheelchair for the first time since he was 19 years old and walked. We had been practicing that. And it's quite an achievement, and it just gives you that nice feeling that you did something great for the community.
Well, you know what, Bob? The saying "it gives you a nice feeling" is a bit of an understatement, by the way. I think I just think it's amazing, and I really applaud you for, taking this initiative and helping the people out in the community like that. It's really something. So, Missy,
yes,
you're the president of the Booster Club. Now, we're going to talk a bit about the fundraiser that's coming up this weekend, right? Mm-hmm. But so, what do you do as the president of the Booster Club?
Well, we, as a group, we work with Mr. Murray. We have had a big part in organizing the board break this year. That's our charity that's coming up. We also raise money to maybe try to do scholarships for kids that are going, or students that are going off to tournaments. We try to do group events for our students so they can get to know each other outside of class as well. Mm-hmm. So.
And they identify in the community families in need. and we have 2 recipients this year. One of them I know, John, at the Speed Shop. But tell us who first. I'm sorry. I want to tell you that the event is this weekend, which is August the 2nd. It's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Murray's Family Martial Arts Center, which is in Hudson Falls. It's right on Main Street, right?
Right.
Next to
345,
Dollar
right next-
General.
Yes, sir.
Next to Dollar General. You know where that is. From 11 to 4. And let's talk a bit about the event. What's going on from 11 to 4?
We're going to have a bake sale, food sale. The Hudson Falls Fire Department is going to be there with some trucks. Washington County Sheriffs are going to be there doing fingerprinting of any of the kids.
Right.
We're going to have a 50-50, a Chinese auction, and demonstrations, and then they're going to do 2 hours of board breaking.
Do I get to break one with my head? I mean, I think I probably could, Bob.
If you show up, we do solicit from the attendees, anybody that is willing to
Yep.
donate $1
I see.
can, anybody that wants to, that donates $1, I will hold a board and they can break it.
So in other words, you're paying $1 to get the kind of headache that nobody can ever really talk about from breaking a board with your head. This
Well-
sounds fantastic, Bob.
We usually limit the breaks, you know, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that we have 2015 boards
Oh my God.
of various sizes, and we usually limit the breaks to hand and foot techniques. We don't
Okay.
really do any head techniques.
Agreed. You know what? I want to give a shout out to Meads, because they're, I think you told me before we went on air, they're donating all this lumber to be able to
Yes,
hold
sir.
these
Yes.
demonstrations. So I want to cycle back. It's this, what's August 2nd? Is it Saturday?
It's
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. This Sunday, 11 to 4 p.m. at Murray's Family Martial Arts Center in Hudson Falls. It doesn't cost anything to get in. So you get there, bring your children, get them fingerprinted, Sheriff's Department. The kids get to see fire trucks. There's all kinds of martial arts demonstrations. And the funds are going to 2 very worthwhile causes. And why don't you just tell us who those 2 causes are?
So John Cross is the owner of CNS Speed Shop. He's been diagnosed with cancer. He's one of our recipients. And the other one is Brian Lashway, police officer, firefighter,
Yes,
and
right.
also
EMS,
worked
right.
on an ambulance. He also has been diagnosed with cancer. So our goal is to make their financial difficulties a little bit easier for them.
Well, you know what? At the beginning of the interview, I told you it's community, it's family. You don't get a better example than this. So I want to thank you both very much for coming in.
One other
Yeah, go ahead.
small thing, if I might interrupt.
Sure.
We have a container out front, and we've been collecting bottles for a year. And all the proceeds from everything that happens, our bottle drive, our bake sales, everything that we do in connection with this breakathon, 100% of it goes to the
these
recipients.
causes. That's
We don't take out any expenses. That's why we sought out Meads to bring us the lumber, because donation of lumber saves a lot of money somewhere along the line.
Boy, it sure does.
Thank you.
Best of luck this weekend. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for running this. Really great school. It's really something.
It's a fun time.
It is. Thank
Ought
you
to
both
stop by
very much.
and check it out.
Yes.
Can I break a board?
I'll let you do it however you want.
Okay, everybody, to see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.